Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 27 of our Curse of Strahd campaign. We are the group Trials of Imagination. If this is your first time here, we are just a group of friends like to get together, have a fun time playing some Dungeons and Dragons on Tuesday nights. This is our second campaign together as a group. We started as a group of 4 and then added 2 members on this season, this go-around for this campaign. We are going through the module known as Curse of Strahd. If you are not familiar with it, it is kind of like a gothic horror type of setting, is the best example I can give, dealing with vampires, werewolves, anything around that nature of things. Only the version we are doing is pretty heavily homebrewed, so whether you are new to Curse of Strahd or veteran, there will be plenty of material for both of you, any type of person that is watching this evening, so stick around. You'll have plenty to enjoy regardless of which camp you fall in there. You may notice throughout the stream that we do not really engage with anything that is coming up in chat. This is nothing personal whatsoever. We do see your comments. We only have 2 hours to really do this stream between some of our players having work schedules or having internet things that cut off, whatever it may be. We only have 2 hours, so we try to be as quick and or not quick, but we try to be as concise as possible and dedicate all of our attention towards the actual gameplay and the role play instead of diverting and getting distracted down the rabbit holes of what chat is, which is real easy if you've ever been on a stream before. So we don't engage vocally. However, we do all try to actually engage with you guys in chat itself. So you will see plenty of engagement there. And then additionally, at the end of the night after the stream is over, pretty much after the 2 hour mark, which is usually around 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, is when we kind of transition into what we consider the post-stream chat, to where we do the exact opposite of what I just said, and we do nothing but engage with you guys and talk about our favorite moments of the night, answer any questions that we can without, unveiling secrets and stuff, and just actually talk to you guys. So if that is your thing, we do have a section devoted to that. It is toward the end of the night as opposed to during the stream itself. Okay, that's a little bit. I'm going to toss it over to SJ for announcements, and then we'll get the episode rolling after that. So, SJ?
Hi, everybody. I'm SJ. Hope you all are doing well. So we have our podcast up. You all know that. It should be on Spotify and also Apple Podcast. So we have our podcast where Matt and I just kind of chat a whole bunch about D&D in general, and then also our campaign, as well as we have been uploading our sessions on there as well, slowly but surely. And then also, if you join our Patreon, you will have access to the Patreon-only podcast episodes. So there's that. So we also have a Patreon, by the way. You can get stickers. You can get a box. And more fun things are coming, as always. We want to make it overly worth it for you for supporting us as a thank you for continually supporting us, because we love you all. Let's see, we episode 30 is coming up, and so we will be having a giveaway, so stay tuned for that giveaway. So you just have to go to that link and buy the tickets, so you will be entered into the giveaway. So I'm excited for the prize of the giveaway. And then next week we should have some new things to share with you as well. And that's about it. There's always more things coming. We're always working on things. So, because we appreciate you guys and we want to give you guys fun things. So, thank you for your support and your love, and we hope you continue to enjoy Trials of Imagination. Matt, back to you.
Thank you. And worth noting with the giveaway, so it just it's what's considered in-stream currency to get the tickets. So all you have to do is just be present, and you gain tickets literally by watching the stream. Simple as that. So nothing complicated. Every time you go to that link, you'll notice that your currency for that just keeps going up, because as long as you're watching the stream, you're gaining money to buy tickets, basically. And it's just like a raffle. Every time you buy a ticket, you enter your name into the pool to get a higher chance for that name to be drawn. Nice and simple. And that drawing will be on episode 30, like SJ said. All right. So that's us. That's who we are. That's the announcements. I think it's time for everybody's been waiting for a whole week based on what happened last week, but we'll get to the recap in a little bit. But right now, it's time to start episode 27 of Curse of Strahd. All right. So, last week on Trials of Imagination, our group was regathering themselves after the incident at the gallows, of which Millard ventured off on his own abruptly and quickly, off into Vallaki. Unbeknownst to the party, he got into the gate, had some discussion with some of the guards, and even made it as far to a tavern or specifically a well. I don't remember the exact order, but a well and tavern, and actually got a little bit into the town. The rest of the group finally arrives as well before pretty much the entire group is split in multiple directions. You have Nadar has gone off in his own way. You have Ayla, Zyle, and Ismark in a group, and then you have Millard still by himself, and then you have Elbreth, Irina, and Mark in a group, all doing a variety of different things, of which Millard initially sacks a drunk person in an alleyway to take their clothes, be a little more disguised in terms of the townsfolk that he had kind of drawn attention to upon entering, because his attire was a little strange, so he changed attire, went back to the gate to talk to one of the guards, and lured said guard back towards the alleyway before stabbing him in the neck with a rapier and killing him. Of which changing back... Is that correct? You changed back into your clothes?
Yeah. I just borrowed the clothes.
Changed back into his normal clothes and then
after
left.
justice was dispensed. Yep.
After justice was dispensed, it went back to the town well area. Meanwhile, Zyle and Ayla had an interesting encounter where a child ran up to Zyle, tugged on his pants, and told him, "Thank you for not letting me turn into a monster," and then ran off. Seemed a little puzzling, didn't really understand. He did not recognize the child, to which an older lady next to him told him to pay the child no mind. It's the strangest thing that the child has been literally dull and lifeless all his life up until a few days ago, to where suddenly he was energetic, was playing with the other kids, and occasionally going by a different name other than his birth name, and was calling himself Namir. And that is what that group discovered, and made their way around Long Swing, ended up at the tavern. Nadar, traveling on himself, ended up feeling like he was being watched at some point, and tried to fake being asleep, essentially, and found himself suddenly having something pulled over his head and cutting to black, of which case we pulled away. So we don't really know what happened other than something got pulled over his head, and then we left Nadar and went back to the other group. Irina, Elbreth, and Mark went straight forward and kind of was looking for Nadar, going straight to the tavern, in which case, before they get to the tavern, Millard intercepts and meets up with them Miller does have a little sidebar with Mark while Arena and Elbereth pulls forward to inform him of what he had done, and also added a little nugget of he doesn't exactly feel himself and things feel strange and he doesn't really know what's going on and he's doing certain things that does not make sense in a short version. And that is pretty much all of that conversation. And they continue on to the tavern, of which then Zyle, Ayla, and Ismark also join up at the tavern, and now the full party is back together. And Ayla, Millard, and Irina stay outside while the rest of the group goes into the tavern and sees who else but Nadar actually sitting on a table off in the corner. And he is actually seems to be having a grand old time. Doesn't seem distraught, seems to be rather happy actually. Laughing, few drinks emptied on the table, and there is a hooded figure that is sitting next to him. So the group approaches, finds their way to the table, and lo and behold, that who else would it be but Merc Danjaw the Third, sitting next to Nadar, telling everyone, hello! And then that is where we left off last episode, but more importantly, where we pick up this episode. So, you guys are all in the tavern. I'll pull up the map for everybody so they can see it. It has begun to transcend into night territory. It is at best getting into dusk, but it's pretty much close to nightfall at this point. But you guys are in the tavern. As we said, Millard, Ayla, and Irina are outside. We'll stick with the group that is inside for now. So that goes for Mark, Elbereth, and Nadar, and then Richard whenever he gets here, that you guys just found Nadar and Merc Denjal. So what do you do?
I just want to say, you pulled up the map and just like the people compared to the coins, they look like giants.
Hmm?
Just say.
Well, if you populated the rest of the body of your coin, I don't think they would.
Can you do that?
I
don't have to be a coin?
You don't have to be, but you're going to be.
I like being a coin.
He's just saying that your head size is the same as their head size.
Yeah,
Okay.
and maybe even bigger.
Funny to me.
You're just in a little portal the whole time, walking
Yeah.
around. Only
Yeah, you actually, this entire campaign, none of you have a torso or legs. You're just a floating upper body that's just going around. It's really strange.
makes it a lot easier to do certain things.
Yes, yes.
So for the group inside, what do you do?
I want to ask Merc Danjaw.
Yeah.
Merc, how many gateways are there to this city?
How many gateway? Well, let's see. There's
72.
the one, that a funny looking fellow, and then there's that one over by the place with the weird pebble over on the left street, and then there's, what was I pondering? Oh,
Did I hear something about a pebble? Why didn't you take me there first?
I don't know. It's kind of a far walk. I think if my memory serves,
These legs were made for walking
if
and
my-
drinking at the same time.
That's a fair point. If my memory serves me correctly, I think there's 4 gateways total. You got
Okay.
you got the one on the right side, the one on the left side, and then a top and a bottom. Yep, 4.
Okay.
Oh, there was one right there. Nadar points at the door.
I just want to for out of game question, how noisy is this tavern?
Quite a few people in here, so rather noisy.
Okay.
And it's several floors, so like there's no shortage of noise going on.
Okay. I want to say in Dwarvish then. I think we need to leave this place right away.
Nadar responds in Dwarvish, but alcohol. And then he just starts to down another drink.
We're not safe here in Dwarvish again. 'Cause I want to whisper to Nadar. Millard killed someone.
In common, I respond. What? He's done that lots of times before.
What?
He's done that lots of times before, right?
Merc
The
Who's
weird.
done-
D'Angelo.
Elberth asks,
Go ahead.
Elberth asks Mark in Dwarven, who has done what lots of times?
Millard killed someone whispering.
Just gives. Wait, no, he's not in here, right? Is
No, I'm not.
Millard and Ayla are the ones outside?
Mm-hmm. And Irina.
Yep.
Let's go. Let's see if they have a to-go mug.
But I like this
Well-
mug.
well-
I hold
well-
up the mug I just finished.
Bring it. We'll get you a barrel.
Okay.
You see Merc D'Angelo, granted you haven't seen him many times, but for the first time have a little more of a serious look on his face as he kind of leans in. Now, Mr. I'm sorry, what was your name again? He's talking to Mark.
Oh, my name's Mark.
You and Ismark will be easy to remember then. So, this is a rather serious accusation. And then he starts speaking in Dwarvish.
No.
So,
Uh,
your party member killed someone here?
yes. I said it in Dwarven.
Most troubling. He looks over to Nadar and continues in Dwarven. My boy, just to be safe, I believe there was a reason they were speaking in Dwarven earlier. Perhaps we stay in that and not speak common for the time.
I say in Draconic this time. Well, I don't like that though. Cause that person over there is my friend. I just point to some random person.
He speaks in Draconic back to you. Be that as it may, I think a situation like this requires some careful consideration.
Are you saying I'm not careful? He says in Dwarvish.
Transitioning back to Dwarvish.
Yep, we're going all over the language barrier tonight.
Yeah. Well, I don't really know, but I do know you have a quite fine rock collection you've shown me here, and if you don't want to potentially lose any of those, I suggest we take care of
This is
them.
one of my favorites. I've named him Johnson.
Yes. Is that the one I gave you earlier?
Yes.
Yep. Quite a strange event.
Thank you.
I
Thank
was
you about that again.
I was walking through the woods on the way to Valaki, and then suddenly I hear a very strange noise that sounded like some sort of screeching. And then I took maybe two steps before getting plastered in the head by a rock.
We need to leave now.
What?
We need to leave.
And go
Give me
where?
a barrel of alcohol first.
And go where exactly, Mr. Mark?
To drink the alcohol.
I don't know, anywhere away from this city.
Away from the city, you say? My dear boy, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's nightfall.
So?
So the city of Vallaki will not open the gates at nightfall for any reason whatsoever. So unless you intend on breaking out of here, you might be stuck in this town for the night.
I was afraid you'd say something like that.
I'm in half. No,
We're broken.
Hello.
I'm busted. No,
I'm
Come
invisible as
back.
always.
come
Tetris.
back.
I'm a half screen of Nadar.
There's two.
I'm halfway down here.
I'm half of Ayla and half of
Uh.
Millard.
I wonder what this one does.
I don't exist.
I don't even remember if this does anything. Nope,
Is
that's
this
still
like
broken. Okay,
Is this like the snap?
something like that.
Something
It gets rid of
happened.
half of everybody.
It's like
Yeah,
we
We were all
lost.
still there, just cut in half.
Yeah, so we got half snapped in half.
We
Except
lost.
me, I got gonned.
We got
Yeah.
dusted.
Everybody got gone. And we lost.
Mark, I don't feel so
Back.
well.
We lost Miss Beck, so hang in with us momentarily through technical difficulties while we figure stuff out. Oh, yep.
Yeah.
No
Oh.
need.
While we wait for Bex. Yeah, that's all I got.
I've got
We're
a
not
joke.
sponsored or anything. So.
Oh, wait.
Let's hear the
Jay's
joke.
got a joke. Go
It's
ahead.
it's not a good joke.
Oh,
It's
Oh,
the
no.
only one I know.
Let's
is
hear it.
with the elephant and the frogs.
No.
Oh.
So here's the joke, and I think it's appropriate for
Oh
Yeah.
no.
For Strahd.
Turn my mic off.
So, I've heard a lot of stories over the years, but there's this one story from this one comedian that it's the only joke that I know because it's very distinctive in my memory.
hmm
So there's this mortuary runner, this mortician. He's a good guy, and he's got a funeral coming up. Oh, okay.
Finish the joke.
She's like, oh, thank
Why
goodness.
is Bex sideways?
There we
So
go.
there's
Oh,
this.
there you go.
we don't
There's
talk about it.
Obviously, there's a recent widow who's making arrangements, and it's a very difficult time, And so, why? Oh, okay, Matt's not frozen. He was frozen by screen. So during this difficult time, she made a quick mistake right before the funeral, and that was she had given the mortician her husband's brown suit, and her husband's one of his last wishes was that he be buried in his black suit. And so she comes very frantic, with grief and everything, and is like, "Hey, I made this mistake. I know you're in charge of the whole ceremony and everything. Could you please find a black suit? I'll pay for it. I'll do whatever I can." And the mortician's like, "Oh yeah, I deal with this sort of stuff all the time. It's super easy to take care of. Don't worry about it." And she's like, "Oh great, thank you. I'll pay you after. Just tell me how much the suit cost." And so the funeral happens, and she sees him, and he's in his black suit, so she's super happy. I mean, she's not really happy because it's a funeral, but she's very pleased that he's in his black suit. So a couple weeks pass, and she doesn't receive a bill or anything, so she goes back. She's like, "Hey, what's going on? I want to make sure we're squared away with all the finances and everything." And he's like, "Oh, no. Like I said, I take care of this all the time. It turns out there was another woman, and her husband was wearing a black suit, and she wanted him in a brown suit. So it was, all I did was I switched the heads."
As soon as you said it's the only joke I know, I was like, no.
I thought it was going. I switched the suits, so that's why it was the cause of it.
Yeah,
Oof.
that's fine. That's all the setup. I
Oof.
switched the heads.
Yep.
I mean, I guess if anywhere in Ravenloft.
Yep.
That's appropriate.
Here, Carcassonne could work.
All right, so we lost Bex for a little bit, but she's back now. So can you hear us, Bex?
Yeah. Wait.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Now we can't hear
Now
you.
we cannot.
can't hear you now.
I cannot.
No, I can't.
Can
Now
you
we
hear me
can hear
now?
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone
it's
drink.
on. Okay. I don't have anything.
How could this happen to me?
Always got drinks on hand. Always.
I need more
Oh, wait, hold
alcohol.
on.
If there's ever a character I should like actually get drunk for, it's Nadar. Just go through a
Don't
session
actually
drunk.
drink.
No.
I'm kidding.
please
Don't.
Yeah.
We,
I will
hashtag we do not
I am
condone
drink
getting drunk
my
on
dice
stream.
tower.
All right,
I am of
so
legal age.
the last
Ontario.
thing
Canada.
the last thing that happened, Mark was talking to Murkdanjal about leaving the city, of which Murkdanjal said, and I'm not really sure how you're going to do that because it's nightfall and Lockheed does not open up the gates for any reason whatsoever once it's nightfall. So unless you plan on trying to literally escape this place, you're here for the night. And that was the last thing that was said. And then Mark said he was afraid of that.
Afraid that you'd say that.
Yep.
What time do the gates open in the morning?
Oh, basically when there is light again. So as long as it is nightfall, no gates shall open.
As long as there's light? What if there's a storm then no one can leave?
Sometimes, and at that point, it kind of depends on the mood of the Baron. We're still saying this in Dwarvish.
Yes. Yes, still in Dwarvish.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you know about what time the sun rises?
Yeah. I'd estimate. Yeah, I don't know, sometime close to between 6 and 7 in the morning.
Okay.
Give or take. I don't know. It's hard to tell when you have pretty much constant cloudy, dreary weather. But it at least gets, less dark around that time.
Okay. Well, I guess we best just hunker down for the night.
Probably not the worst of ideas. My dear, if you don't mind me asking, I didn't want to, I was on a short timetable the last time we met, so I didn't really get to ask you any questions. You wouldn't happen to be in Azamar, would you?
I am.
Oh, goody. Most interesting. I don't get to meet many Azamars. I've only really had the pleasure of meeting a few. Well, it is nice to meet you, Miss Madam. I'm going to be honest, I don't remember your name either, but it is nice to meet you.
My name is Elbereth. Who are the other Azamar? Did you meet them here?
Oh, well, there was one fellow that I met a long time ago before I found myself stuck here. What was his name? I don't quite remember his name. It's been a long time. And then there was another that I met here a few years, I think. Yeah, years ago, give or take. His name was Malthael, and he was an interesting fellow.
Yeah, that's actually my brother. I only recently found out that he's here as well.
Oh, goodness, that's... I'm so sorry, I didn't realize that I had actually met siblings. So you are Malthael's sister?
Yeah.
My goodness, you are nothing alike.
It's been said.
Well, that's great, because he's here somewhere. I haven't seen him in a while, but last time I saw him, he was traveling with, well, actually, it was, traveling with three individuals. There was an elf, and then there was a gnome, and then some sort of blue lizard thing.
Blue lizard thing.
Yep, not really sure what to make of it. But it talked.
Did this blue lizard thing have wings?
If it did, I didn't see him, but I didn't ask the man to remove his clothes and show me his back.
How much like a dragon did this thing look like?
I mean, I've only seen one dragon, and it was a lot bigger. So I don't know how to really answer that, but I suppose if you were to put the visual nature of a dragon on the size of a person, then that would kind of fit.
Well, my worst nightmare just happened. Oh.
What's your worst nightmare?
Other than that. A tiny dragon.
Well,
that's my second worst nightmare.
That's got to be better than a big dragon, though, right?
That is my worst nightmare. We do not talk about that, or I will kill you.
All right. You don't have to get so fancy.
When you've seen what I've seen,
dragons.
you'd be scared of dragons too.
I don't know. I don't really see that well anymore, so it's a debate. That issue might be debatable. Anywho, that's good though. That you might have not only your brother, but some of his acquaintances around here. You could find mutual friends that maybe help you on whatever you folk are trying to do.
Until just a few days ago, I thought he was dead. I don't like the idea to know that all this time he's been in this land.
Well, that is very disheartening. Sorry to hear that. But, well, here's to everyone's good health, Jen. Cheers. Starts chugging his
Except
drink.
for that one guy.
Except for that one guy. Screw that guy.
Except for
Another.
that one guy that is our friend, our mutual friend's friend.
Yep. Except for that guy. Alright, while this part of the group keeps conversing, we will go to the group that is outside, which is Millard and Ayla, who are standing outside. Nothing's going on other than just, you can tell it's starting to get dark, it's getting nightfall, so what was a thriving city is starting to thin out a little bit. As you can tell, people are starting to go inside.
They're sure taking a long time in here. You think we should go get them, Ayla?
In Elvish, I reply, I don't really feel like being in a crowd at the moment.
What?
I look at him. I just shake my head.
I'm not smartly educated like you, no offense. Just can't understand what you say when you say it like that. You want me to go in and get them? Because it sounded like there was some shouting,
In common, I say, It's a tavern. There's always shouting.
Just, get a little nervous standing at home all by ourselves. It's getting dark.
If you're that nervous, you may go in and get them. I don't really feel like going into a crowded tavern at this moment.
Oh, I don't hear you. Nope, not me.
Irina, in an attempt to actually be somewhat comforting, normally the concern about nightfall would be incredibly warranted, and might even still be, but if any place to feel somewhat comforted at nightfall, it would be within the gates of Valaki.
Oh, that's good to hear.
But I think you keep your head about you and maybe hold on to that feeling of fear. It keeps you alert.
I turn to Irina and ask in Elvish, you don't by chance know Elvish, do you?
He squints and turns over to Millard. Is she speaking gibberish or another language?
It's her native tongue. At least that's what she told Mark, I think. That's what Mark tells me. He says it's some form of royal language. I don't know much about it myself.
I chuckle.
I'm assuming you're speaking Elvish to me then?
Yes.
In which case, apologies. No, I do not know Elvish, so I don't know what you just said, but I did not understand it.
Fair. I don't like that those guards pointed me out as an elf. It makes me nervous.
Yeah, she's very particular about her stature and everything. She cares about.
I glare at Millard.
I would not think too much of it. In case you haven't noticed by looking around, there's not a whole lot of... Well, actually, for that matter, there's not any elves here. So it's more of they're surprised to see one. It's more of a rarity.
Seems I am a rarity wherever I go.
You can think of it as good or bad, whatever you do. I think, truthfully, it is neither.
From my experience, at least where I came from, it was bad.
There is no racism of elves here, if that's what you're referring to.
No, it has nothing to do with actually being an elf. Just the type of elf.
Interesting. I do not think I understand, but I will take your word for it.
I will say it seems like you just see elves as elves here, which is good. I like that. Back home, at least I look at Millard, my status, it is not just that.
You're implying some form of subclass of elves?
She's talking about poor people.
That would have been better. But no, I am not talking about financial class. But it's not something I really wish to talk about at this moment. Maybe later.
Fair enough. You don't need to talk about it if you don't want to. All the same, just if you do choose to speak in Elvish, that is fine. Just know I will not understand any of it.
That is fine. I would expect Millard to have picked up some by now with all of our time traveling together.
Yeah, well, not everybody has the time to just listen and learn or know how to read. Some of us grew up working hard, had stuff to do, couldn't spend the time learning languages. So...
Millard, roll a history check.
2!
You are a living embodiment of what you just said. You do not remember jack crap of Elvish. Oh man, we had it.
I'm Nadar now.
Tech's
And
fun
now
tonight, isn't it?
Millard's gone again.
I'm always disappearing on you.
Oh no,
Yes,
where did
man.
Millard go?
Crafty
No,
little
you're
joker.
Millard.
Wait,
Slav is Millard.
Yeah.
And now 2-bit is Mark. And
Yep.
the DM.
There we go.
Okay.
We are legion. Oh, we are many. Welcome back to
We
the
are-
stream, Mr. Bichard. Welcome back. So to
Sorry,
recap,
that was not a smooth transition.
you're fine.
I switched it to my computer and I forgot to turn on the camera, but my computer's back on. So
Nice.
Yay.
huzzah!
Well, hey, yeah.
Rock and stone.
Now Elbert's back and all is right with the world. So, now that Richard's back, just a short recap. We pretty much picked up right back into the tavern, having a discussion with Merc Danjaw. You haven't missed a whole lot other than learning that it is nighttime now.
Mark
Block-
accused me of murder.
Mark has brought
something like that.
Mark has brought to the attention of this group, which has Zio in it, so it's worth mentioning this, that he said out loud in Dwarvish that Mark killed someone. So I don't know if you speak Dwarvish or
Actually, I was whispering that.
not. Okay, so you whispered that in common, and then the rest of the conversation transpired.
No,
in-
he
I
whispered it in
whispered
Dwarvish.
Dwarvish.
To
To
I would have.
Nadar.
Yeah.
But then I asked what he said, and then he whispered
then he
to
said
me.
it
So
ag-
I would have whispered it to Zyle.
Yeah,
then
so
to
like
make sure that- yeah.
between conversations, the group in that area is aware of the circumstance. Say for Ismark, he's probably the only one that is out on this conversation. Unless Zyle doesn't understand Dwarvish, in which case I don't know if you heard any of this or not.
I don't. He technically doesn't. I stuck it in there as a placeholder and never changed it. So technically, no.
Okay. So then you would have heard Merc, Mark, Elberth, and Nadar speaking in what you might be able to discern as Dwarvish, having been around Nadar long enough, but you wouldn't understand anything they're saying. So that was said. Had just a little bit of
If it
back
was
and
sober, if it was sober dwarfish, you probably didn't understand it.
right. That was said. Not a whole lot of really like any like crazy pertinent information I would say, other than just like some conversations back and forth. Merc did reveal to Elberth that he knows Malthael, so that connection was made. Nothing crazy
This-
other than just name drop.
the city gates are locked
Yes,
Yeah.
until morning.
that Vlaki would not open their gates until morning. They do not open the gates for any reason at nightfall. And then we transition to the group outside, which is Ayla, Millard, and Irina, and they've been just having their banter back and forth while Millard is made Inonis a slightly uneasy, referring to it as at nighttime, of which Irina tried to comfort him a little bit, saying like, if anywhere is going to be safe at nighttime, it's going to be here. Although, keep your wits about you. So now that Richard's back, we'll transition back to the middle group and give him time to respond. So basically, the group in front of you has been discussing in Dwarvish for a decent amount of time now.
Anything you want to share with the group here?
You out of game. You heard Elbereth tell you that Millard killed someone.
So over at the Jozal.
I'm trying to think. Okay, so Elbereth would know that Zyle only knows Common and Elvish.
Elvish.
So, still opening back up the computer. I don't remember if I know Elvish. I think I do. Wait,
Impressive linguist.
I-
sorry,
Well,
everything
certainly do
crashed.
not.
I lied.
You know what can't crash? Paper and pen.
You're gonna be one of those people.
Fair.
Imagine
I have
how am I
cards for
supposed to make
days.
my character sheet on paper, like that.
Print it off as a PDF.
Yeah, that's
Imagine printed. Imagine having a printer,
Hold on.
like in this day and age.
Yeah, yeah.
I live in the 21st century. Okay, nope, I don't know Elvish. So, sorry.
Sadly, every last
I don't
one of
know.
these has something on it.
If he says, I'm gonna be like, just kind of whisper, like, not with the entire group, but it was actually no. Millard pulled the old Raggedy Andy.
You're saying this to Zyle?
Whispering it to Zyle in common.
Did what?
That's what Mark said. And we know that Mark doesn't joke about that stuff.
Well, that's a desperate maneuver. Surely he had calls for it, right? We discussed that when we came up with it.
I'm really confused what happened to get to this point. We just got here.
We'll have to talk with Millard.
Indeed.
He's Merc in Dwarvish just goes, are we still talking in Dwarvish? Or if we... I feel like we've swapped around to a few languages at this point. I don't really know what I'm supposed to be talking in.
Dwarvish is preferable.
Keep talking in Dwarvish, I think.
You say
Or
that...
Draconic, whichever one you want.
Sick of the Dwarvish. Zyle can pick up. We'll fill him in as needed.
He turns to Zao and common. My dear boy, is there a alternative language that you speak other than common?
I speak Elvish.
Oh, good. I don't speak that one. But the rest of you might be able to do that.
Is that the language of the pointy ear leaf lovers?
Yep. Their ears are pointy and so are their jabs.
Oh, I don't speak that one.
Me
But I
neither.
also want more
Just kind of
alcohol.
hand waves carry on.
But I also want more alcohol. So you guys have fun. I'm gonna go get more alcohol, and I walk over to the bar, and just grab like another 2 or 3 tankards of alcohol, and come back and just plop down and start downing it.
I want to go over to the bartender and ask if he could point me where we might be able to find some beds.
Okay.
Where can we find some beds to stay for the night?
That, trying to be funny?
No?
This is a tavern. There's beds upstairs.
Oh, okay. How much is a bed for the night?
Depends. Just for you or for the whole table over there?
How much per bed?
Let me look at what my availability is left. Plops out a book on the table. Plops it open. Starts fiddling through to see what the reservations are and what rooms are open and what rooms are reserved. Alright, I got 4 rooms left. They're all gonna be double beds. I don't have any singles left. It's gonna be roughly 5 silver per room.
Okay. I'll go back to the bed. The
party.
party.
Maybe don't drink anymore. Okay. So you successfully go back to the party?
Yeah, it'll be about 5 silver per room. There's 2 beds in a room.
And Ismark is going to chime in at this point, because did you say that in common or Dwarvish?
Oh, common. Might as well.
Oh, good. Finally, I understand what you're saying. That was a long moment of nonsense. Don't really follow anything that transpired up until this point, but I understood that part. He may have, I don't know what they told you the realm currency is, but it wouldn't be anything what you guys brought from wherever you came from. So have you made any, have you found a way to get any currency here?
I have not.
Oh, okay. What were you trying to do?
What was I trying to do?
Yeah, I don't have bat ears. I don't know what you said across the bar to the bartender.
Oh, no, I just asked how much it is for the room.
Ah, so you're trying to get rooms for everyone, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Allow me to attempt to go and converse with this man. So Ismark
Okay.
stands up and makes his way towards the bar.
Is there any jewelers or people that deal with gems that might want to purchase our gold and silver?
Yeah.
For gold and silver?
Oh, I don't know for certain, but this is Valaki, so I would most certainly assume so, that it's here somewhere. But it's nightfall right now, so I wouldn't count on anyone really going outside for much of anything. Even as safe as it is here, people, they're not, well, most people, they're not overly foolish, so they keep travel outside to a minimum, say from coming to and from a tavern. That's about it. But there probably is some, so if, stay tonight and go searching a day, I'm sure you could probably arrange something. Again, but that reminds me, I have a way that I can be able to get all of you some coin without having to do any form of transfer of funds, I suppose. It's there's a bit of a kind of looks. There's a bit of a fuss here. That could use some skills of people like you.
What? What sort of task? What sort of job?
I said there's a task here that could be useful to people with skills like yours.
What did you say? I didn't hear you the first time.
I said. Does it again? Which seemingly like no one at the tavern is actually like paying any mind.
So what sort of jobs would be available here?
Oh goodness. All kinds.
Any that give me money?
That is what a job does, so yes.
What about the jobs that just give you food and a house or something?
We have very
Because I've
different
heard those happen too.
we have very different experience with jobs.
That one also generally involves a lot of mining.
Oh, well, here that doesn't really happen. It's more of if someone's going to lose a house, it's probably because someone got stabbed. But not more in the money changing thing. Anyways, so there is several things that are really going on, but I have on good authority, due to some theft that has been transpiring over the past few weeks, that someone is going to try and steal something of great value. And I think it might be worth your while to try and see if you can pinpoint the person that has been stealing all these things and maybe prevent them before they take the next thing.
Do you have any idea of do they steal at nighttime only, or?
No idea. That's why I figured I'd hire you people.
Okay. Do you have any leads as to what they might try and steal? Or what have they stolen in the past?
They keep stealing a bunch of old items. I don't know what their game is specifically.
As long as they don't take Q, I'll help.
But don't worry, I'll
Oh,
put a
by the way,
magic.
this one's Q.
I'll try and put some incantation on Q later to remind me, so I don't forget. I'll forget. So they've been taking a bunch of old artifacts that I think they're looking for something specific. Because every time they take something, it's something that's very old and very decrepit. I'm kind of surprised they haven't taken me by this point.
I knew that was coming.
You're not that old, are you? How old are you?
You know, I have no idea. After a certain point, you just stop counting.
I haven't stopped counting. Last I checked, I was like 150.
Well, and then the other problem is in order to count, you have to remember how to count so high. And that, that creates its own other problem.
This is true. I might have skipped like 7 in there a couple times.
Um,
1, 92, 750, 150. Yeah, 150.
yeah, see, you lost me at 1.
Okay.
I lost myself at 1.
Look, when you don't have to count very often anymore and you get really old, you just forget things.
Do you know anyone who may know more about the thefts?
I assume the people doing the thieving.
Do you know anyone that we could maybe talk to about?
Yeah, I know. I know the answer to that one. The thieves.
Probably.
Oh.
I mean, you could start by maybe talking to the places that things were taken from. Probably wouldn't be a bad start, and see if there's a more detailed connection of what's been taken and what's not.
Nidar leans over to Zyle. What's the thief again?
Sal just gives him a blank stare. I'm not gonna describe it to you for the 50th time. You're just messing with me now. I know you are.
These are the ones that give you toys the once a year, right?
He's a funny one. He's like me, and he's not even old yet.
Am I wrong? Oh.
Yes.
You got it.
They're the ones that come and take your toys.
Oh, they leave you toys.
You guys see
And,
Ismark coming back to the group and sits down at the table. You can go ahead and, Richard.
I was just gonna say, you don't want them coming in the middle of the night and taking Q, do you?
I'll kill them before they take Q. But they don't take Q. They're gonna leave a friend for Q.
My dear boy, let's perhaps not bring out the axe in the middle of a tavern of a bunch of drunk people. Probably not the best of ideas.
I just kind of put the axe down.
Yep.
They will not touch Q. They will give Q friends.
Right? As long as you don't go raving an axe around, they probably won't think to come touch you. Anyways, Ismark leans in. Sorry to interrupt the conversation. So I had discussion with bartender and made arrangements and have taken care of enough rooms for everyone for a whole week.
Oh,
Um,
but We can't stay here that long.
You don't have to, but the rooms are available and booked for yours if you need it. As for me and Irina, just full disclosure, we will not be staying that long. We will have things we need to get back to, but I wanted to do as much for you as I can, and I know you don't seem to have much money here, so it's not much, but it is best I can do.
It's much appreciated.
Yeah, it's only 4 rooms, but each of them have 2 beds, so it's more than enough to split amongst yourselves as you might.
Okay.
How many beds is that?
8.
1, 9.
Yep, you lost me again. Pretty much after 1. I'm pretty much checked out after that point.
This is how many beds we should have. 8. 8. Right?
I don't know. I can't see that far. So how many toes is he holding up?
Nadar and Merc, same energy here.
Is he holding up any toes?
No, he's holding up his fingers.
Okay. I don't know, Merc, and frankly, I'm not going to check.
Yeah, all right. Honest man. I respect that.
My toes are in my boots where they belong.
Last time he
Do
took his
they have-
boots off, I got attacked by a frog.
I'm pretty sure I can feel some tadpoles in my boots, honestly.
So this conversation's been going on for a minute, so we'll transition back to the group that's outside, which is still Miller, Ayla, and Irina. It is full-blown nighttime at this point. No daylight left whatsoever.
You don't think they got rooms without us, do you?
I shrug. I'm just staring at the night sky, trying to look for stars. So I assume it's cloudy.
Very.
Yeah.
No stars in sight.
Is there at least like a moon glow on the clouds, or is it like too thick?
You can't see the shape of a moon. There's enough light coming through the moon that it's not pitch black outside, but you can't even see the moon.
Okay.
Does it feel like... I'm going to get some water, and I walk over to the well.
Okay. Irina is kind of just staring and watching Millard intently.
So when I get to the well, I'm going to take the bucket, drop a bunch of water, and then splash it over my face. Again.
A little colder than usual because there's no daylight anymore.
Oh,
Are
that
you
feels good.
afraid he's about to disappear? That is a pretty intense stare you got there.
Even in safe place, not smart to wander off by self.
It's just over there.
You look wherever you want. I look this way.
I'm going to draw a second bucket up and dump it on my head.
First fire, now water. That's interesting. He usually doesn't like water.
You say he normally does not like water.
Yeah.
What do you mean? How do you not like water?
I mean, like, he'll drink it, but he doesn't like going near the rivers or lakes, or he just has this thing about water. He'd rather not be near large amounts of it, I guess. It's interesting that he's willing to pour a whole bucket over his head, not once but twice.
It is strange. And so you two see, because there's a road in between where you guys are and where Millard is, and it T's. So he's at the corner. You guys are kind of at the bottom, and you see probably about 10 to 15 guards in a pattern moving. They're in between you guys for a little bit, go to the center of the T, and then go to the direction of the gate that you guys came in through.
Mm-hmm. Is I assume that the night watch?
No, Night Watch normally doesn't gather in groups like that. They are more spread out and secretive, as to not alert people to their presence. I'm not sure what that is.
Yes. I assume we should probably be a little worried about tonight, though.
In what regard?
Well, like you said, that is not normal. So something may have happened. So
Perhaps.
just be
It's hard to say.
on watch, as you have said.
I am always on watch. It is my life.
I'm gonna walk back over at this point.
And you also saw the guards without question. Arena's good.
I'm tired. It's been a long day. I say we go in there now. Let's get them, and let's find ourselves a room, place to stay tonight.
Yeah,
I
west
just
side
start
is.
looking around from like up and down the roads rather slowly.
It's empty, other than the slowly fading guards in the distance that are getting out of line of sight.
Okay.
What's up? I got something on my face.
No, it looked like you had a good bath.
If by bath you mean man who just took 2 buckets of well water and poured it on himself, then yes, you look just like that.
I mean, how could you know? It's crazy hot.
I think you should go inside and find
you-
the others.
You find it to be hot right now, do you?
Yeah. I mean, not now. After a bucket of water or two, you cool right off. And then I walk in.
Irina will lean into Ayla. If you want to keep an eye somewhere, keep eye on that one. I'm not sure if that is normal behavior, but in case you stop to even pay remote attention, it's quite cold outside right now. So it is one thing to, have difference in temperatures and what you feel. I know people are different, but there's literal snow. It's freezing out here.
No, I did notice. It is not his normal. That's why I told him he needed to go inside.
Maybe he's sick.
Hopefully,
I don't know.
Mark-
But
Mark knows him best. So hopefully he will be able to decipher what's going on with him. Millard and I, companions, yes. Friends, kind of. Good friends, not really. We pick on each other. Like, we're fine with each other. We will protect each other and so on and whatnot. But, no, I don't know him the best. And he's not exactly happy with some of the circumstances I have accidentally gotten us into. So, it is probably not best that I talk to him. Probably best that someone else talk to him. But if it makes you feel better, I will make sure to inform others of Millard's strange temperature.
be that as it may, it just doesn't need to be me. Could be whoever you want from that point. And then she walks in the tavern. Yeah, so Millard,
So
you'll be
as
the
as
first
we
one.
enter, what do we see?
Thriving,
Like, where are they?
thriving tavern. Everything still going on, even though it's nighttime. Like the tavern itself is operating as a business would, just whenever it's nighttime. They are at the other end from when you walk in, slightly to the right, and they're all gathered around the table. But you can see them
Yeah.
clearly.
I strut over, giving a nod to the barkeep.
Okay.
over to where they are. Hey, mate. What's going on here? You didn't drink all of it without me, did ya?
Nadar just looks. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, so you didn't drink it all without me, did ya?
I don't know.
We've got rooms for the night here.
Oh, perfect. I love it.
Yeah, Ismark bought us rooms.
This fella, right here. I pointed at Mark. You bought us all rooms. Very generous of you, mate. Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. It is least I can do. I know you are pulled into strange land and probably don't have the currency of the realm, so if it is a small gesture that I am capable of doing, I'm happy to do my part.
Oh, we got currency. Nadar's got currency. So he's got it all.
Well, then,
But we thank you nonetheless.
then perhaps save it for something that might prove useful in the future. Then consider this as just a token of thanks and extended gratitude for helping me and my sister with our father.
Oh yeah, that whole thing. Yep. Genuine heroes, we all of us.
Elbereth will cross her arms and look at Millard and say in Dwarvish, that's whatever you're doing is not gonna work. We know, Mark told us.
That you what? I say back in Dwarvish. Why are we talking in Dwarvish? Is there a
Because
secret
we don't
going on?
want everyone else in the tavern to know what you did.
What I did?
And I was
It
also
was-
just speaking quietly
it
because there
was
might be other
good.
people that know Dwarvish.
Yeah. What did I do? Nadar, what did you do? Was it him?
You
Hey.
tell us.
I
Millard,
drank
what happened.
alcohol.
We don't need to talk about it right now, but we need to, Lilo, and just... You can play nice, but it's not gonna hide it.
Honestly, I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
Elbereth would just kind of look at Zyle.
Mark, what did you say to them?
I whispered to Millard. Millard, you killed someone
I mean,
in Dwarvish. That is.
like, yeah, we fight people all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, we killed those things back at the church, and we fought stuff in that creepy house. Yeah,
Yeah, we fought wolves and killed wolves. You killed a person here?
here. I mean, we took care of that fella in the basement, but we all agreed that was the right decision.
I'm not talking about that. You said you killed someone.
You can note that Merc is starting to look more serious and just lean in, and he's not saying anything. He's just observing your conversation.
You said that there was some sort of magic that was influencing you to do something to do things that you didn't want to do or something.
No, I don't remember that. You clearly heard me say that, Mark. Those exact words.
Yeah.
I wasn't drunk. Point it in the door. And then I point at Mark. I wasn't drunk.
Correct.
I mean, did you sense anything magical? Like, I asked you about this?
No.
So, there's nothing magical going on, is what you're saying.
I'm saying, well, you know how well my detect magic has been working recently. It hasn't been
Right.
working.
Okay.
So
And
there is no magic that I'd be able to detect.
you're sure I said that? It wasn't something you imagined? Because I don't want to, accuse you or anything, but you were imagining stuff earlier at the gate. You sure that's not affecting you at all? You sure you're all right?
Well, I don't know.
I look in the dark. You sure you're all right? Because something was happening to you too. I mean, not as bad as him, but
So,
Nidar's happy drunkenness goes to much more of a serious drunkenness.
Zyle, you, in your head, are going to hear a voice. So not out loud, but just literally in your head. Hello, Mr. Zyle. It's me. It's Merc Denjaw,
He just kind of like
the third. And Merc
looks
is
at him.
Merc is not
aggressively.
looking. He's not looking at you. He's looking straight. Hasn't changed his expression at all. It's just looking serious and forward. I don't know the faith. I only know the language they were speaking earlier, which you didn't know, and then I didn't know the other language that you knew how to speak. So I figured I'd just go this route to try to talk to you to where you could actually understand what we're saying without interrupting their conversation.
Zyle thinks to himself, "Can I go the other way and speak to you?"
No, you can't really do that. But it's an interesting thought.
Clearly, I can. He he says in his mind.
But if you find a way to do that, that would be quite interesting, I suppose.
He says, "I'll work on that."
Okay, let me know what you find, because that would be very fascinating. Anywho, I just wanted to see what if this was normal behavior that is transpiring here, because this seems rather strange, and I don't know you people very well, so it might just be something to pay no mind to, but as an outsider, this seems rather strange.
I'm also not 100% sure what's going on.
Okay, that's all. Bye now.
Okay.
look, Mark.
Just
All I'm saying
silence.
is, you look exhausted, and I'm exhausted. So whatever I might have said, or whatever you might have heard, I don't know, because I don't recall that, and it doesn't feel like something I do just out of the blue. I'm not just gonna go kill someone for nothing. Like,
Nidar walks
Okay.
back from the bar with another drink.
look, maybe we can just let it go. We'll get some rest tonight, and we'll figure this all out in the morning. I'm tired. I'm sure you're tired.
Yeah.
So at this
I
point,
hate to interrupt the jarring conversation as Al looks around and not knowing. I assume y'all are still speaking in Dwarvish.
Yeah.
So he says, where's Ayla?
Okay, so back to common. Oh, oh, sorry. She's outside with what's her face?
I'm gonna walk over to the bar, get another 3 drinks, and walk outside with the drinks.
Irina.
Alright, Irina, his sister.
Alberth will relate to Zyle. He's been denying it and being extra nice and seems more than his usual butter up after he's done something. So I wonder what else he did.
That's not good.
Or how many more that he didn't tell Mark about.
Or the quantity.
Because usually he doesn't go to this length when he tries to butter us up after he does something.
and Ayla, are you still outside, or did you walk in with Irina?
No, I'm still outside.
So we'll go over there for now, which Nidar has also come out with 3 drinks. So he's...
Would you like something to drink?
No, that's okay. Thank you, though. I know how much you value your drink, and I appreciate the offer.
He offers some to Irina as well.
No, Irina went inside.
Oh, she did? Who else is still out here?
It's just me.
Just Ayla.
Zyle will be making his way outside.
Okay.
Are there any like tables or anything I could put the other drinks on?
No, we're just sitting on the bench,
Temporarily.
I believe.
Not outside. And before Zyle can get too far, so Ayla and Nadar, you're going to note now there is, or really Ayla is noting the same military group that walked by earlier is now walking straight towards you
Joy.
and gets to where you are, and they kind of spread out and cover the area. And then only one of them walks forward. And you can note that it was one that Zyle had been talking to earlier in the streets. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything to either of you. He just kind of tilts his head towards you and walks through the...
I'm sorry, I don't have enough drink.
Touche. And then he walks away.
He just... he just waves at you. Carry on. Walks
I nod
in.
my head.
And walks in and probably meets Zyle about halfway from it. So about midway in the tavern, runs into you, so you notice a familiar face of Mr. Luthrian, who kind of stops
Luthrian.
and holds his hat. Mr. Zyle. And the rest of the party in the tavern, this is close enough that you guys can, if you turn at all, can see this happening. So you see Zyle speaking with some form of what seems to be a military captain.
You guys want to talk about strange stuff? What's going on there?
You can rebuttal if you want.
Anybody? I thought none of us knew anybody here.
Let's just watch and see what happens.
Yeah.
So Luthrian is looking at you, Zyle, with kind of a serious face. This, Mr. Zyle, I'm going to need to ask you to come with me, sir, if you would.
As he kind of sees that it's more of an official situation, and then like a hey friendly greeting, Zyle will kind of shift just unconsciously into a parade rest stance, just out of habit. Okay, just me.
Just you.
Okay. He'll turn to the table and just kind of give everyone a nod, like, hey, it's cool. Don't do anything brash, please. And make the most pleading face he can.
Yeah.
After you, is it Lutherian?
Luthrian.
How you say it? Lutherian. After you, Lutherian.
Thank you, sir. Don't worry, if all goes well, I'll try to have you back to continue drinks with all your friends. Alright, follow me.
I'm gonna stand up and slam the table. What is going on here? Some guy just walks in and takes one of our friends, and we're not gonna do anything about it?
What do you want to do about it?
We trust Sile's judgment. You know he's the most reasonable one of us.
Yeah.
None of you are gonna do anything about this. Just getting tossed around, ordered around.
What's the big deal? It's just going to be gone for questions, I guess.
You guys are just gonna let people come in and tell us what to do? Fine. I'm going to bed. Ismark, where's my room?
He's back. reaches in, grabs one key, goes to, and then kind of looks at Elbreth. Hands the key to Elbreth instead.
What are you doing, mate?
I'm just going to divvy out keys here and let Elbreth do what she will with them from there.
Ismark, do you have a problem with me, mate?
Not at
thought we
all.
I thought we were great. You just brought us through. Do you...
I mean, you did stab me, so maybe that's kind of a trade.
Oh, well, sorry about that. Didn't mean to.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't find that hard to believe. I don't know how you accidentally stab somebody, especially that accurately. But I don't know. It seemed, maybe you're just not feeling good. I don't know. You seem like that didn't seem. I don't know. It seems a little off.
I'm just tired, mate. I'm just tired. Like the whole experience in the woods, it's been a whole day.
It's true. We have been traveling a whole day. But anyway, I will just give her the keys.
Can you show me to the room wherever we're staying?
In a minute. Why don't you have a drink? Did Zyle's pleading look like, please don't do anything rash, or like, please save me?
He was trying his best to send a please don't do anything rash.
Okay.
He probably would have done like a hand gesture like that as well. Just like, hey, we're cool.
Since we trust Zyle, we're gonna stay here, but we're also going to not go to bed, just in case he does want us nearby. So why don't you have a drink, Millard? You seem a little tense.
We've been up all day. From the early morning, it's been a full day. And I just want a little bit of rest.
Yeah, so sit here, kick up your feet, and have this whatever we're drinking. Ale.
Ale. The only option on the menu.
I guess I'll take what you can get. I grab it. I sit down in a chair. That was Isle's chair that he left open.
Yeah.
And I take like a sip.
And
that's good.
At your brief but loud outburst, the guard did kind of stop and didn't turn around, but just turned enough to Zyle. Maybe you don't let that one drink anymore if you should come back tonight, yes? It is for
Who's saying that?
Good.
Who was he saying that to?
To you.
Okay. Yeah, probably so.
I'm gonna get out my chess set and start playing checkers.
Yeah. So, this point, Luthrian is going to exit the building. Zal, presumably following behind.
Mm-hmm.
And you get outside and see Ayla and Nadar on the sides of the door, but a host of like 15 guards kind of guarding the perimeter of the door, which you, with your background, instantaneously can kind of internally elevate what you may or may not have been expecting at this point. But they don't seem to be like hostile towards you or anything. So like the second they see their captain turn out, they turn around, kind of get into a formation and start going in the direction back towards the gate where you guys came from.
Sal just comments, some disciplined men you've got there.
Respect is the only way we survive here.
Upon seeing Zyle exit with the captain, I stand up.
Okay. And Zal, you do see Bela and Nadar here as you're getting ready to walk away.
I'll kind of give them as the same kind of look as much as I can, like, hey, it's cool. Stay put, kind of.
I give him a "Are you sure?" look.
Nadar just starts following.
He nods and he'll hold his hand up at Nadar.
I put before he even like stands up, I put my hand on Nadar's shoulder and push him back down into the bench.
I thought you were going to say on his head.
He's a friend.
Nadar, we've been traveling for how long? I know who he is.
The
Yeah.
Lutheran will turn around. Do not worry, Master Dwarf. I do not intend to bring harm to your friend here. I merely want to ask him some questions.
Can I come?
Not this time.
Uh-huh.
This needs to be just Master Zal.
Can
What
I
if I
please-
sit in a different room?
Nadar, shut up.
I will say no more.
Can I at least know where you are going, just in case?
I'm sorry, but you may not.
And I know I'll probably honestly forget.
All I can offer you is that you have my word that if things go well, I will bring him back safe and unharmed.
And what if things don't go well?
Do I get money if things don't go
Nadar,
well?
shut up.
If things do not go well, then perhaps you and all of your group may want to consider safer places.
Well, how will I know? I don't know how long you guys are going to be gone.
I have said enough. I will say no more. He turns around and starts walking away.
Fine.
And let's see. Zal, actually roll a perception check on this one.
Perception. That's a 24.
All right, then.
Got him.
So, the combination of your background and the conversations it's had in the tavern and what's going on right here, you don't really know for certain, but you're piecing dots together and are assuming that maybe, bare minimum, they're probably looking into some form of occurrence and know that you guys are outsiders that just arrived and it's not a good look, so they're going to be inquisitive about the people that just got here. So that's kind of where you are, and that just sunk in.
Yeah.
And as such, you realize his secondary comment, like if things don't go well, meaning if that is true, then he's referring to things maybe very bad for all of you. So you
He'll
have
still kind of like nod to Ayla, like just a reassuring nod, like, hey, don't worry. He'll keep a
Yeah,
his stoic mask.
I'll just nod. While keeping my hand on top of Nadar's shoulder, holding him down.
I'm gonna stand up with all my might.
okay.
Ignorant.
I'm
That's
going to urge Luthrian to continue forward before anything untoward happens.
Yeah, they're already walking. Because when he said, "I will say
I
no
will
more,"
follow.
he turned and started walking. So, Nadar, I'll let you stand up, but she still got a hold of you.
I shake her arm off. I'm like, "Mm." And down
At that
another
point,
one of the
As
elves.
soon as he starts, like, rolling his shoulder to get my hand off of him, I just grab onto his clothes.
I put
As-
my hand on my hand axe. Let go of me.
Nadar, I think this is best that we do not cause trouble. There is an army here.
I can take them. I've taken armies before.
You're drunk. And yes, you have, but don't.
I was
forget.
drunk then.
Nadar, listen. We are not up to our full strength. Ever since we got to Barovia, we have lost our strength. Mark has lost some of his magic. You have even lost some of your strength. I'm not going to let you interfere with this when there is a better possibility of Zyle coming back as long as we do not interfere. Understood?
I just want to make sure he stays safe.
He will be
No
fine.
dwarf left behind, you know?
If you don't want him left behind, you will stay here. I think it is best we go back inside, find our comrades, and just wait.
I'm not doing this again. I will rip my clothes if I have to get out of your grip and follow them.
I will tackle him.
Okay. Let's see. Ayla, make a.
And
strength-
as I tackle him, I yell, Elbreth.
Okay. So make a strength check.
Me? Or
I got
Do we-
a 14.
Do we hear the yell from inside?
Yes.
So Mark and I are playing chess.
Mhm.
Checkers?
No, monster.
No,
chess.
we swapped games.
Oh.
By this amount of time, we swapped games.
Just-
Okay.
Just
Not
ballers
You
over
weren't
here.
looking.
Not chess. Monster chess.
Okay.
Monster chess.
Fair enough.
Monster chess.
So while you guys are rolling, just gonna. You hear that outside?
Mark, you watch Millard.
Yeah.
I'll go help Ayla.
Irina's gonna stand up as well and follow Elberth.
Thank God.
Watch me as I'm winning.
Dexterity or strength? Because I'm just I'm tackling him.
Would I make a dexterity save or something against the tackle?
You're drunk, so no.
So you would make a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage because you are rather intoxicated.
Actually, one of my abilities at level 2 was I get advantage on dex saving throws.
So neutral.
Not
Yeah.
while I'm not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated, which I am not. So
Yep. So neutral then,
yes.
and then Ayla make a strength check with advantage
did.
because he is drunk.
14. Advantage? Oh, cool. I get to-
Well, if you rolled a 14, it's already
Yeah, I got that twice. 14.
okay. So it didn't really matter. So she tackles you, and you're struggling and managing to throw her around a little bit, but you're not getting off the ground. She's just holding on to you, and she manages to hold on long enough that Elbreth and Irina get outside before her finally losing her grip. But as she's done that, Irina and Elbreth have kind of gotten in front of you.
I just storm off back into the tavern without saying anything.
What's happening?
He's upset that I didn't let him follow Zyle.
It is for the best he did not do that.
I figured. That's
No.
why That's why I tackled the stupid dwarf and called
look-
for you
look.
all.
I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what is going on here, but if whole military group walked by earlier, and now Captain is walking in and asked
Oh.
to speak to Zao and Zao
that-
alone.
So yes, the captain walked in. Everyone else was still out here.
Oh, so the whole
know
group
how
came
to
outside.
read the situation. I've been with Zyle long enough to know some military tactics. So he indicated he was fine to leave it be. So that's what I did, and I did everything in my power to make sure it stayed that way. Hence me tackling Nadar.
It's probably for the best then.
And now my jaw hurts. I'm pretty sure he elbowed me pretty good.
Probably so.
Yes, I want some ice. This does not feel good.
Look at the positive side. That's the type of fighter you want whenever it needs to be on your side, yes?
This is true. However, he does not listen to reason very well, especially when drunk.
I don't know many dwarves, but that seems par for the course from what I've heard. So let's go and let's back inside. I don't want to be out here during any of what is about to transpire. And we need to now not only have eyes on one person, but probably two, given the strangeness that's going on in there.
Yes. Elbreth, I am going to leave in the dark to you tonight, as you are the stronger of the two of us.
I'm gonna go find Millard.
Ruth looks at Ayla with confusion and she's like, I'm just taller.
Yes, but I don't want to do that again. So I leave it to you. You can pass it to someone else. I don't care. I turn around and start walking toward the.
Wait, is Arena still out here?
Yes.
Yes.
Elbreth looks at Arena and she's like, you're stronger. I can tell. It's your turn. You haven't had a turn yet, right?
I'm obviously stronger, but I do not take turns.
You take turn.
I do not.
Alright, then I guess he'll just run after Zyle.
Obviously, I will do what I must if I have to. I'm just not going to confine to your logic of turns. I don't want to be put in box, okay?
Alright, no labels. Got it.
No one puts baby in a corner.
Exactly. So, alright, so does Elbreth go inside?
Yeah.
Okay, so now Elbreth and Ayla and Irina are all inside, but instead of them, we're going to follow Zyle.
Ba, ba, ba.
Yay, who the group has arrived and stopped near a house in an alleyway. In which case, there is Zyle sees several guards blocking the alleyway to remove any form of visibility behind it. And Luthrian's going to walk up and just kind of wave his hand, and then they just from the middle kind of split open and allow you two to pass into the alleyway, and then the second you both pass through, they close back. And Zyle, you see not one, but two dead corpses on the ground.
Do they
Luthrian,
look familiar at all?
they do not look familiar in, well, one does not. One looks like the more lively guard that you guys talked to outside at the gate. And Luthrian just has his hands crossed. We found them this evening. Honestly, not too much longer after your party arrived. Full disclosure, I want to be transparent here, from one military man to another. I do not assume it is you, I do not want to assume it is any of your party, but not good look, yes?
The circumstances, I can't fault you.
Okay. So, from one military man to another, let us have a look at this, shall we? What do you see here?
So what's the scene portray? Is there anything I can glean from it?
Roll an investigation check.
Aside from murder, obviously.
Roll an investigation check.
Here comes the nat one. Where's it at? That is a 9.
Okay. So, in terms of just investigating the situation, you don't perceive anything detailed other than you have one guy who has been stripped of. Let's see, Miller. When you returned his clothes, did you put it back on his body?
Yeah, like
Okay.
I properly dressed him.
Okay, so you have two people who have been murdered, both with some form of attack around the throat. Now, on that low of an investigation, that's about as detailed as that gets. That you just have two bodies, both seem to be were killed via something towards their throat. Normally, we're used to investigating deaths around here. It's a large city, we try to keep it under wraps, but you put so many people together, crime is inevitable at times, so murder is not incredibly unheard of, although we try to keep it under wraps. But murdering a god, this does not happen very often.
Just want to make it clear, he said guard, not god.
God.
Or they both have the same type of injury.
Seems that way.
Any conclusions you've drawn here?
Not particularly. I try not to draw too many rash conclusions. I like to be a little more merciful than it kind of looks what our fearless leader, the Baron, might be. He judges a little more with how he feels in the moment. As one military man to the other, I would prefer proper justice be done, if possible. I don't want to condemn any form of innocent man accidentally, if I can help it. So I don't particularly know, but it is strange that not only two people killed by the same weapon, but the god's arrows were thrown about. Not as if he had fallen. If you haven't noticed, they're kind of tossed around.
The whole scene's strange.
Indeed. And if you want to take... So you guys were just talking and standing up, so if you want to take a closer look and kneel down and take a detailed look, you can roll another.
I would like to. I'll ask Luthrian if I can first, if that's okay.
Yeah. By all means, we'd like as much help as we could get with this. I'd like to attempt to clear your name if I can help it. So if you would assist me in figuring out this situation and potentially who the assailant is here, we'll make sure to clear you and your party's good name.
I will try to glean what I can from looking closer.
Okay. So make an investigation check with advantage this time.
Hey, now we're talking. 13.
13. Okay.
Is unfortunately just a straight roll.
13 is good enough, though, for some more detail. So, this time, you notice two things. One of which is the wound on the guard appears to be a rapier, specifically. The wound on the other individual, which you gain from stains and stuff on his face and stuff was probably a local drunkard that is different. You didn't roll high enough to see what it was, but you rolled enough to note that that is not the same wound. And you notice something specific about it. Roll a history check with advantage.
You keep picking these that I have +0 in.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, that was 2 6s. So 6.
Nothing jogs your memory at the moment. It's probably not necessarily from that, but it is nighttime, so visibility is limited, so maybe you didn't get as detailed of a look at it as you want. But you saw enough to notice that these wounds were not the same.
The drunkard did have his throat cut, though.
Yes.
Or no? Okay. Just by something different.
You can tell it was not a rapier. Perhaps a little more light would create some detail. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Do I have the light cantrip? I think I do. Right. You have a torch or anything I can borrow, Luthrian?
Yes.
Do
It
it
is
the
a little-
old-fashioned way.
He's a little dark around here. He kind of snaps his finger and the wall of guards open up and you see a guard like kind of jogging through, holding a torch, hands it to Mr. Luthrian. Goes back, the wall closes again. He turns, and instead of handing it to you directly, asks, would you like me to hold near so you can be hands-free, or do you want to do it yourself?
Yeah, if you don't mind, and I'd like your eyes as well.
Okay.
This is your jurisdiction.
Okay. So, make another investigation check with advantage.
Third time's a charm, right?
Yeah.
Here we go.
And you'll take, or roll first. Let's see if you even need this.
17.
Don't even need it. But you can take a guidance +2.
Yeehaw. Matt doing everything he can for us here.
It's like, don't say I didn't do anything. So, Mr. Luth, you're gathering this in and taking in something, and Luthien is, best I can tell, for whatever reason, this is not assault with same weapon. If you look at the markings,
That's what I'm seeing as well.
look at the markings of the way that the drunkard it is it's more violent, even. The other one is clean, likely a spear or a rapier of some kind. And I don't know what did this. This is not something that I think I'm familiar with. And you, rolling that high, seeing it again, have a memory
Oh boy.
of going a while back where you have a blade that you made with your brother Zeke. And you both made one. And you both still have said blades.
Bum, bum, bum.
So Luthrian is going to look at you Do you make anything specifically of these two differences?
He'll kind of slowly stand up. Well, Lutheran, you've shown me kindness in a way that most captain of a guard wouldn't when a party rolls into their city and 2 dead bodies turn up within a few hours. I'll share a little something with you. I've seen 2 blades before that make cuts like this. I assume he has it on him.
Zyle?
Yes.
That is.
He is.
I'll leave that completely up to you.
He would carry that.
Yeah, I would think so. But yeah, you choose what you would like there.
One of those is here. You'll see as he unsheaths it, and it's well oiled and cleaned and obviously not used. And he hands it to him to inspect.
This is
You'll
either
note that
incredibly smart or incredibly stupid to hand the person investigating this the so-called actual murder weapon. You are quite an interesting fellow. Hands it back to you.
Hey, the other is it's carried by my brother.
And your brother, is he part of your party with you now?
He and I don't exactly see eye to eye, so no. Honestly, I'm surprised he's in your realm.
I see. Well then. Allow me to do one more thing. And he waves his hand, and you see a blue aura just go... and actually covers both of you in what seems like a sphere of magical blue emanating color. And you are now inside the zone of truth.
Mm-hmm.
Zao can only speak what he is aware of as truth. If you don't know, you don't have to say it. If you know it, you either have to say it or you can say nothing, but you cannot lie.
Mm-hmm.
He's just going to look at you. If I may, allow me to ask a few more questions.
He
And
nods.
And that is where we'll end tonight's episode. Ooh.
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 So he's not having to make a saving throw on that one? On the zone of truth?
He will.
He wouldn't
tomorrow.
resist it.
Well, yeah, if he resists, but if he doesn't, then...
He's not going to resist it.
Yeah. And you also don't know what he's going to ask yet.
And in fairness, you only told Zyle that Millard killed someone. You didn't say who or how.
And I didn't tell him. Mark told him. So it's
Actually,
I heard from a guy who heard from a
think
guy.
Told him.
Yeah, I think it's
Oh, so it's even like I heard
was like
from a girl
full-
who heard from a guy who heard from a guy that he
Right.
might have killed somebody.
Pretty much.
He knows good and well this other was not Millard, though, because of the...
Uh-huh.
Smart,
blade.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so...
lots of people have rapiers. They're just, they come
That's
in
true.
starting. Tell them that they come in a lot of starting packs. So
That's true.
And it's not like a weapon I use all the time either.
So that is going to do it for the actual episode itself. So thank you guys so much for watching on Twitch or on YouTube. We're transitioning now to the post-stream chat section of this. We have 2 players that typically have to hop off quicker. So we're going to go to Nadar and Millard first. And then as you guys do normally, this is the part where if you want to have questions, let them fly. We'll answer anything that we can. Mr. Nadar, Mr. Lava.
Honeysuckle.
Mr. Dar, Mr. Lava, you got to go first. So what was your highlight of the night, sir?
I don't know. I just had fun tonight. It was like, just the whole thing was fun.
Just all
Even
of
with-
it.
Yeah. It's just, I don't have a favorite part.
I thought it for sure would just be getting Johnson back.
Johnson?
That would have been funny if, like, if
That is
D'Angelo
one of
was
them.
like, "Oh yeah, I picked this up," and he had Johnson with him.
No, that's kind of what he said happened.
He did.
Okay, I totally missed that.
That happened off stream.
Like,
It made me-
heard Johnson. I was like,
It made me super
Wait, you
suspicious,
did
though, of
Mhm.
Merc Danjaw, that he might be the crazy thing we saw in the woods.
He
yes, he is. He is.
he
the
was
crazy
he
thing.
was starting to explain the story, and then I know Mark interrupted, and then you guys just carried on with the conversation.
Dang it, I missed the story. Well, actually, Ayla doesn't know.
Because you weren't.
Yeah,
in
I
there.
don't
Johnson back.
actually know. I just
So,
listened to the
If she
story.
finds out that he got Johnson back, she's gonna be like, "Wait, how'd you get that back? You threw it in the wood, or is
Yeah.
that just a new rock? That's a new.
Just
rock.
a new Johnson.
I don't know.
Johnson
It's a
too.
new
It is
Johnson.
the exact same rock that you guys threw in
Yeah,
the woods.
That Ismark threw.
Yes.
Yeah, Ismark threw it.
I think
Is it
I
still
feel like
black?
I feel like Nadar is the only one who knows that it's the exact same rock, though.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's just a rock. Doesn't
But
help.
is
Yeah,
it
it's
still
everybody else is
black?
just a rock.
Yeah.
And SJ, if you will, have AJ's thing ready for when the Dars kicks out.
Once you answer
Yes.
my question,
What was your question?
is the rock still black?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Yes and
different
no.
now.
Yeah, not covered in like the black. That was just like his magical thing that he used to throw it.
Yeah.
Uh,
wasn't sure.
yeah, it's not like the black goop. It's like the black inner. It's just his magical aura. So the
It's like-
second,
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Like a
But I
black
just
light.
wasn't. I didn't know if it was something that just stayed on it or if
No.
it went away.
nope. All right, so Mr. Millard, I know you got to go as well. So what for you highlighted of the night?
I thought the conversation with Mark and trying to convince him that I didn't actually say that. He was just tired. I was just tired. Maybe something like got lost in interpretation was neat.
really, really.
I don't know how
turning
Liam's
things
gonna
on its head.
We call that gaslighting.
Yeah. Warning in the chat: do not actually gaslight people. This is for play purposes only.
I liked it all, like all of this
For
stuff
legal
a lot,
reasons, do not try this at home.
because just like
Wait, do we actually need to say that now?
because just like Storm
Only
was
if
saying,
you're offering actual legal advice, which that's why I said in the chat.
because just like Storm was saying in the chat, like there was kind of like tension the entire night to a certain extent of everybody just waiting for the moment to happen.
But
It was
no, I mean
really
he
good.
doesn't. Miller does not believe he said that. He doesn't.
Night,
He either
everyone.
thinks
Rock
he
and
was
stuff.
tired or Mark was tired. He's actually totally honest about it in that
So-
situation.
Not only in Seb, but does he even believe that he did it?
You were gonna find that in the next episode, so
Okay.
come back for that.
Sure, fair
It,
enough.
it will be
Look,
explained
guys,
how he
Flip-Flop's
sees that.
back.
He
Okay.
transformed.
Yeah.
Yay!
All right.
Before Millard has to leave, one of my favorite parts
Oh,
was
he's gone.
he was
Oh, wrong way.
it was Mert talking, and he said, "Well, the only time people really lose a house here is when they get stabbed." And on
Oh, in the
camera,
chat.
he's muted. He just goes
Yeah,
and had this the biggest grin on his face.
I was like,
lost
"Oh,
it.
sweet!" And then I typed in the chat, "So stabbing's common."
Yeah.
Yep. He's like, technically,
That
that
was
guy
great.
did have a house somewhere, and it is probably now vacant.
Yeah, his face in the video just cracked me up when he said that.
Fair enough. So,
let me-
Jay, thank you as always. Good role playing tonight. We look forward to seeing next week and what is going on with Millard. Always.
Apparently, a lot of weird stuff. Don't be too suspicious, because like it's
Don't
not.
be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Yeah.
Still a lot of fun to
Well,
speculate.
yeah, I want to say like let the audience speculate to see, let yourself speculate, but don't let your characters automatically go on like level 10 alert.
We shall see. All right. So, thank you, Mr. J. We'll go around the horn and finish everybody else out as usual and roll dice. So, again, if any of you had questions for tonight specifically, let them fly, and we'll try to answer any of that while we go. So, first person, Mr. Liam, What was the highlight of the night for you?
Highlights. I liked it that Merc was able to surprise me in that he spoke Dwarven.
Kind
Uh,
of took you off guard.
Yeah, and it was nice. It's nice to know that Elbreth and Millard both know Dwarven as well.
So we're able to like talk in code a little bit without having to be on quite as pins and needles.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay. Anything else?
No, I think that's well, I there was a whole ton of funny moments, but yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Amidst also like playing Tetris several times of the night with cameras and just trying to everybody being like half and half and just not really knowing where everything is.
Those are the disruptive moments.
Yeah. it's so you just gotta laugh them off and just have a good time. Okay. That would be Miss Bex.
I forgot what I was going to say. I feel like there was something.
Bravo.
I like how you handed off the job I gave you to Arena.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, hey, you haven't had a turn yet. Elbreth cannot have a turn by herself of grappling Nadar. She has a -1 strength.
Oh, okay.
That's why it was funny. We're like, you're stronger than me. I was like, ah.
Like, no, I'm taller than you.
She
looks like strong, but
she's stronger in magical ability.
Yeah. It kind of just shows what Ayla actually thinks of her own capabilities, though.
Or SJ's memory. One or the other.
No. Like, why would I know her stat sheet?
it's not a stat sheet necessarily. But I feel like there would probably be times where, like, we're trying to move something, you know, like Nadar, and Elbreth keeps like dragging her end.
Yeah.
Okay, then sure. SJ's memory. We'll go with that. I blame the child.
Well, you guys can technically see each other's sheets anytime you want.
I know. I realized that tonight when she was trying to. She didn't have her sheet pulled up. I was trying to pull it up quick enough so I could see what the stat she was looking for was.
All right. So, Bex, anything else? Any highlights other than that?
Richard says something really funny, as he does, but that I'm thinking of, but I can't remember it right now.
Was
but...
it the frog thing?
Yes.
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 Well, there was that, and then
so he took off his shoes. I was attacked by a frog or something.
there was that, and then you yourself did one of the wordplay situations where you described the situation that Miller did.
Well, I'm not gonna call out myself as a favorite moment.
No, but then like you and Zal had the back and forth. So that was funny.
What was it?
Raggedy Andy.
Raggedy Andy.
Raggedy Andy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Someone else was trying to call it the Barbara of Seville.
Barbara of Seville. Yeah, like Dirk was saying that. I was like, oh, I didn't see that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was
Raggedy
good.
Andy, I don't know. I was just picturing like, I don't know, now he's gonna be all raggedy because he's dead. Just
Yeah.
Wow.
it's something about a swap because Raggedy Ann, Raggedy Andy. I don't know.
What a lovely
there's,
image.
There's stuff there. It says a lot though. It's just 2 words, and Zyle understood it perfectly.
Nice. So okay. Any other ones?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Wait, so that begs the question. You told him that he pulled a Raggedy Andy, right? You didn't actually say he murdered somebody. So, Zyle might have it wrong as to what it meant.
I think they. I mean, maybe, but I think given the reaction.
Do we have an alternate?
Wait, Zyle, roll for history.
He's like, oh yeah, my companion was in possession of a doll. That's it.
Oh.
He just sleeps with the doll still, like at a
Apparently-
blankie. Like, I don't even know. This has nothing to do with murder. Why are you talking to me?
What? What?
He's like, what? What does this have to do with anything? All right. Mr. Ricardo, what about you? What was your highlight of the night?
Raggedy Andy, for one. I really like the when I was leaving with Luthrian and the Ayla and Nadara thing back and forth, and Ayla was talking and just shut up, Nadara. Shut up, Nadara.
Shut up.
Shut up, Nadara. And just kept cutting him off. It was just so pointed and just matter of fact.
Yep.
It was a really good delivery.
Yeah.
Please don't
And then
accidentally kill
Millard's
us.
expression in the video earlier, that killed me.
Wait, whose expression?
Millard's.
Millard when
Oh, okay.
Merc said, well, people when they lose the house when they get stabbed, and he's like, he just lit up. Oh, that was another one. You were Ismark, but you were talking like Merc.
Yeah.
So you were Ismark.
Oh,
I was just like, I don't know what's going on
You were
anymore.
going in between Ismark and Merc Danjaw, and I was like, I
Mm.
know he's trying to play Ismark, but he keeps kind of slipping.
I'm like, wait a minute, did Millard? I was trying to remember if Millard stabbed Merc Danja, and I forgot. Like, I was just like,
I said maybe I did.
I have enough channel points to redeem a named NPC. We may have to have an Ismark.
No,
Evil
it's too
twins.
close.
So many.
or you could have a Denmark to go with Mark and Ismark.
Good, nice. All right, anything else, Mr. Ricardo?
I think that covers it.
Okay. I mean, don't even have to roll. SJ. So
So I was excited. I got to tackle somebody because honestly, when Millard was like started throwing a fit in the tavern, I was expecting him to like run out after them, and I was gonna
Mhm.
tackle him, but he didn't. So I was like, oh, I don't get to tackle him. But then Nadar tried to run, so I got to tackle him. So that was good. Glad the rolls worked out for that.
in my head, and Zyle might have even tried to intervene because Millard would have had to cross Zyle before he got where you guys were when he was doing
Yeah.
his table thing.
Well, like originally you had said they turned to walk out, and so I had honestly pictured that they had walked out, and but then that's not how it ended up playing.
Sure.
So, but yeah,
Yeah, because
I had
like
a whole person ready for Millard and or Nadar if they tried to charge after.
Mhm. Which could have made things quite interesting.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Other than
but-
tackling, any highlights?
I think that it's interesting how like the majority of the party all speak Dwarven except for Ayla and Zyle.
True.
I thought that was really interesting. So it's like Zyle and Ayla can talk to each other in a language, but no one else can understand it. But then everyone else can speak Dwarven, and neither of them are gonna have a clue. So
Well, Ismark was just back there, just not really hearing a single bit of the conversation at the table.
yeah, I meant the original
Yeah.
party, but and then also so like Merc Danjaw, he's like all of a sudden speaking Dwarvish, and then they change, and then Nadar switches to Draconic, and so then he's just like, "Oh, we're speaking in Draconic now, cool." And I'm like,
Yep.
"What is it? What's gonna be the one that he doesn't speak?" And then it was Elvish, and I'm like, "Of course it is."
hmm
But I want to know, was that planned, or were you just like, he's not gonna speak Elvish?
I plead the fifth.
Come on. Also, how many cards did you have ready for tonight? I mean, I know you had at least 20.
Well, you did not miss your guess.
A lot.
Also, none of us died tonight.
Nope.
Were any of us close to dying?
I mean, you could have. If, like, I mean, kind of like what Richard was talking about. Like, I mean, if you guys had done anything stupid while you have a full militia outside, that could have gone south pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
So
like,
was Nadar close to dying?
I mean, Millard's outburst could have caused things to go really wrong. Nadar could have caused that. I don't think Zao would ever misstep in words between a military man, but if he had chosen to go aggressive or hostile in the conversation with Lutherian, then that could have gone wrong.
Okay.
There's no shortage of things that could have gone bad. Thankfully, for the most part, everyone tried. I think everybody knowing the situation was just like kind of on pins and needles and trying to just do the most conservative thing possible as things were going. So it worked itself out. But, I mean, there was not a situation that it was as simple as like a 50-50 coin flip of what was going on, but there were circumstances in play that if you guys made certain decisions, it could have gone wrong quick.
Yeah.
If that answers that.
Yep. We
Uh,
did die.
Favorite moment?
Yeah,
Hopefully
at
we
least.
won't die next week.
So, favorite moment. I love all the roleplay back and forth. I liked Elberth getting to talk a little bit to Merc about her brother, even if only like in minuscule detail. Just having someone else that knew him and kind of making that connection. There was the Raggedy Andy situation was glorious, and then the everybody switching languages was funny. And then probably as a DM, knowing the whole time that you guys were on borrowed time before someone walked through that door and asked to speak to Zyle, and just seeing what the reactions were going to be, because I knew that there was going to be tension going into this episode, given what happened last episode, because everybody's just kind of waiting to see, okay, what the frick is about to happen here? And suddenly you have a captain come and ask to see just one of your party that is not the one who did it, as the players know, and then suddenly he has to go outside, and then goes by himself off in the distance with a large group of guards, and then having it turned on its head completely to where now Zao has been positioned with the task of helping the guards investigate and solve the murder in order to acquit your party of
Yeah,
any
I thought
form
that
of
was
assumptions.
I was like, wait, we're basically suspects. Zyle's technically a suspect, but you're asking him to help you solve the murder.
He explained that. He said,
Yeah.
in good faith, as one military man of another, I'm going to give you a
Yeah.
chance to prove that this was not
weird.
you, so you can
So
clear it.
weird.
Not weird at all.
Yeah,
It's-
it is weird.
Also, Stormer says, wait, where did it go? Stormer's favorite moment was the zone of truth and having that moment of tension get pushed to the next week.
And think of something to add on to this. So if the captain was by himself talking to Zyle, that would be a strange thing. It's him and 20 to 30 guards here. He
Right.
is not concerned whatsoever. So he's speaking very transparently to Zyle in this moment. It's like, I don't know if you did this or not. I really don't. And he still doesn't. He doesn't think one way or the other. He's trying to give Zyle the benefit of the doubt. So he says, hey, you know what? Let's work together on this, see how this goes. I mean, you got plenty of guards around me. You're not going to do anything to me. So
Glad I was nice to this guy.
he's like, so by all means, clear your name, basically. Which should be interesting, because since we know what actually happened, there's only a few ways this goes. So that'll be interesting. And then, of course, it showcases that he's still not fully on board because he does the zone of truth, and there's no reason you would do that if you don't fully trust someone. So it's not like the captain is just yielding all power to let Zal do whatever he wants.
Right.
it's more it's kind of a testing of sorts in their own way.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for next week. It'll be interesting coming back. And it's what you're gonna do is you're gonna come back next week and you're like, let's start with the party in the tavern. It's like, no, don't do that to us.
We'll see.
See, you can see it on his face.
Yeah, we'll see. I will not say.
He'll probably have to because I'll be en route back from small group. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well, Piplup's here for you, so.
that's true. It'll just be
Sorry.
like Zyle's just staying quiet the whole time. He's like, "Come on, Piplup, do you have anything else to say?"
Yeah. 'Cause that's
just
That's-
getting grilled, Piplup's just staring hatred into
yeah.
his eyes.
That's what was like. And I'll have to plan that now because like that's what was a little difficult to navigate earlier today because like the conversation started tonight with the group where Zyle would have been, and I'm quite confident different things probably would have been said over time if Zyle had been there. But you weren't. So like I was like, well, and they were even trying to move on and leave. So I was like in my head as a DM, I was like, how can we just keep things stagnant until Richard Lees gets here so he can be a part of this, and then decide what you guys do instead of moving on without him. But sometimes it is what it is.
Out.
Yeah. So that was fun. Just sitting on the, knowing the tensions there, and just kind of just waiting to see what everybody is expecting and what to choose. And then obviously, like, thankfully, it worked out to where Stormer indicated that it resulted in such of like this tension of pulling the zone of truth and not knowing what is about to be asked, and then you just cut off.
Now I keep picturing in my head you interrogating Piplup and hauling it up. Piplup! You know who committed these murders.
Don't give me excuses. Give me answers.
Piplup!
Just start slapping.
So before it goes too far,
Piplup uses bubble beam.
I wanted to point out the earlier Sephiroth asked, "What is your favorite part about your character?" To all players.
Okay, there you go.
You did ask that.
So
Like about tonight or in general?
In general.
in general, I
Probably
would say.
general.
So
We'll go with that unless he says something else.
in general, so Richard, that's you first.
My favorite part, and I did this intentionally when I went with his subclass, was who he is and what he stands for, and the whole idea behind Death Domain clerics, and or Grave Domain, excuse me, and him being in Barovia, and it's just a constant conflict of everything he stands for. So I picked him that way intentionally, so there would always be that tension for an option for roleplay concerning that. And for anyone that doesn't know, like, grave clerics have a extreme disdain for the undead. They feel it disrupts the natural order of things, and it's intolerable.
Right. Okay. That is Liam.
My favorite thing about my character, Mark. I don't know. He's got telekinetic shove.
Yeah. That, or I was just say the glorious name that he said on the travels to the Eastmark Mansion the first time. I can't even remember at this point what you called it, but when you guys were playing telephone and it got to you, and it just, just the most glorious
We clipped
thing.
that, right?
We just clipped somewhere. I just don't remember what it was. It was just a ridiculous word. Like, please say that again. That was good. All right. Bex.
Well, I feel like some of the things are actually favorite stuff I haven't really had a chance to display or address. So I'm gonna say the flying.
That you've also really only been able to use a few times.
Once, but it was so cool.
Well, just being able to do it.
Because
is
also I was
amazing.
rolling well that night too. So
It's true.
The night
That
you
is-
weren't here?
No, the one where I
Tuesday?
was.
Okay.
Tuesday for that
Yeah,
one.
like I was there, and it's because the last time, because the other time 2-Bit was rolling for Elbereth with metal dice, and then now I have metal dice, and so I was rolling and it was working. I'm like, okay, well, yeah. So I don't know. I felt like a superhero, like picking up Mark and flying to the top of the building, and
Yeah.
And true story, like the metal dice are the ones I roll the best with, I feel like. By far. Alright, so SJ, favorite thing about your character?
I don't know.
Good answer. Long, detailed, riveting.
The best thing, my favorite thing about Ayla. I don't know.
Thank you, Richard.
Yeah. I guess I'd say SJ or Ayla's and Millard's quips with each other's the funniest thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I feel like a lot of people, like, you know, overall this time of the 27 episodes, even within, like, the first 10, it was, like, you know, her sassiness or whatever was, like, the most apparent, even though, like, that was not a planned thing for her. So, but it's, like, to me, that's not my favorite thing about her, because, one, that's not something I designed specifically for her. I think maybe just like, even though she does have a very extensive background, she's still growing through all of this. So, just, you know, that, her loyalty to the group, but her dependence upon Zyle at the same time as, like, knowing he can also depend on her. So maybe just her loyalty to everybody, probably one of my more favorite things, even though, like, you know, they pick on her a lot, and especially now that, you know, Millard knows that she's a royal, so that's kind of more so. But yeah, just, I guess, how she interacts.
Okay.
Mm.
All good answers. And looking forward to hopefully, like, okay, so just some DM meta information that, like, won't be now because it's the caution has been thrown to the wind. This would have been a wonderful place that you guys get to be in a big city, kind of relax a little bit, do some, you know, chill quests, do whatever, and actually, like, engage a little bit in some exposition and backstory and get to flesh your characters a little more. But no, we twist
Now
that a
we're
little
here.
bit, and now we're kind of in a murder situation and trying to investigate that. So there went, just took all that script and was like, bye.
Bye now.
Yep,
Bye-bye.
bye now. You guys get
I
the
never had to use this tonight.
you get to figure this out. So, yep. So we'll see if you guys can get out of yet another situation, and then maybe have time to, you know, flesh out backstory stuff as time goes. But it's funny because right now everybody just keeps trading one situation for the other. But it's a lot of fun though. But that is that's gonna wrap things up for tonight. We've been going on for a bit here. Try to keep the post stream within 30 minutes or less if we can help it. So thank you guys so very much for watching. You are all awesome. We appreciate every last one of you as you continue to show up and watch and interact through this journey of madness that we are all engaging together. It's been a lot of fun. Come back for episode 28 to see, one, what the heck Zal's about to be asked, and more importantly, what the heck he's about to inadvertently or advertently say under the zone of truth. And then 2, to see what is the fate of the party next episode, because that's going to be kind of an interesting question of which no one really knows, including myself. So, yay. So, thank you guys so much. It's been a blast. Looking forward to next week as we get to figure out what the fate of the party is. But until next week, Everybody say goodbye. Till next time.